Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your girl Crystal. You're listening to the Real Deal Podcast, Mind the Gap Edition. Actually, scratch that. You're listening to Iron Sharpens Iron, Part 1 of the series. So, I actually have a bone to pick with y'all because I literally just realized that I've been using the word segment completely incorrectly. Like, I've been telling you I have like these new segments and stuff, and it's like an entire episode of a show. Whereas when I looked up the actual definition of a segment, it's a show within a show, like within one episode. So I'm just like, I know I've had multiple downloads on each episode, so nobody that has corrected me or been like, yo, like, you're saying it wrong. That's not the right way to use it. But also, y'all may not have known at the same time. You may have been just trusting me, which I do apologize. I fucked up there. It's not a segment. These are actually series that's part of the entire podcast, right? It's like building blocks for the entire podcast, pretty much. That's how I view it. And so, for those of y'all that have to catch up, I have 3 series, actually 4 series, that I'm going to have within the show. And so the first one's in no particular order. It's Iron Sharpens Iron, which is today's show. Be For Real, which was the previous show. And No Bullshit, which is No Bullshit Fitness Tips, which was the show prior to the Be For Real show. So I would encourage y'all to just go back and listen to those episodes so you can have more of an idea of what I'm talking about when it comes to these series and why it's going to be a series. Um, Eventually, I'm going to have experts and people who just have way more experience than I do in those areas, especially when it comes to the no bullshit fitness tips. I want to have some trainers out here to talk to y'all, nutritionists, people who have also struggled and have made a tremendous change physically and mentally with their bodies. So I know that's going to be a pretty cool series. I can't wait to like really dive deep into that. And the Be For Real series is really just something for fun. Um, like I feel like if we get too serious and stay too serious, we're gonna kind of lose a little bit of ourselves, being caught up in like all the problems in the world. And I don't know about y'all, but like that's definitely true for me. Like I get caught up in the negative of what's going on, and I just kind of stay there mentally and emotionally, and it really fucks me up. So Be For Real is kind of like a way to introduce the fucked up shit that's going on in the world, but in a fun way. So I hope y'all enjoy that one too. I'm gonna have some fun with that for sure. You guys are gonna see my goofy side during that series. Hopefully it goes well. And then the third series, which is Iron Sharpens Iron, which is today's show. And so what I want to do with this series is give you guys wisdom on just life. It's going to be more of like a personal development kind of series within the show, which is also something I'm passionate about because, I feel like we're all or could be experts in personal development depending on where you're at in life. And if you're anything like me and you suck at life, but you're doing everything you can every day to just get 1% better, then personal development is your jam. That's definitely going to be the series for you. And then the fourth series, which I didn't mention before, is America's Compromise series. And for that series, that's when I get like really into the research and the articles and the data and the analytics and the nitty gritty of all the BS that's going on in America specifically, or like in the countries where America is involved, whether it's through our military, businesses, et cetera, et cetera. I feel like, the mainstream media is not being truthful with us a lot of the time. And it's a perfect opportunity for people like us, right? The normal people, we the people, to step up and be the news and be the truth, right? And basically do what we can to spread the right message rather than relying on these people who haven't done a damn thing for us and have shown us the opposite, um, to bring us the news and to bring us the truth. There's always an agenda, I feel like, when it comes to CNN. We all know that's like a Democratic, more liberal show, or news channel. Fox News is more Republican. And we know articles such as like AP News or Washington Times, New York Times, we know what political party, for the most part, they're associated with. And I feel like for people to report the news, it should just be just that, right? Like report the news with no agenda, say what the facts are, say what happened, and then give your opinion. But also state, hey, this is my viewpoint. This isn't like what's actually going on. You know what I'm saying? Like there's facts and then there's opinions. Like give us facts. And so that's what I am going to do my best to do during the America's Compromise series. As new developments come and more news gets released on what's going on, I'll definitely update y'all. That's something I am monitoring every day. So hang in with me there. But for today's show, Iron Sharpens Iron, let's get right into it. It's story time. It's story time. I got robbed last night. No bullshit. No bullshit. And it wasn't, obviously it wasn't expected, but like I'm still a little like upset about it that I really got robbed last night. And so let me just tell you how it started. I have had actually an extra iPhone 14 that I originally purchased last year to be my podcast phone, right? Meaning like my podcast camera where I'd communicate with people, where I can book people for the show, things like that, you know, really getting busy and where all my content would be. And so I got that phone and then I realized I don't really like having two phones. You know, like I eventually used that as a work phone where I work full time currently, but I didn't really like carrying around two phones. So I put everything on one phone, my personal phone, and the iPhone 14 was just sitting there. And I'm like, you know, maybe I'll still use it for a camera, whatever, for the podcast. Didn't really know what to do with it. Ended up sitting there for weeks. So I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to put it on Facebook Marketplace. And so I did. And you know, Facebook Marketplace, if y'all have ever sold on there, you know that it's a hit or miss. Like you're either going to get scammers who are like, oh, ship it to me, I'll pay double, yada, yada, yada. And then they never come through. Or they'll be like, oh, Zelle me first and then I'll Zelle you, type of bullshit. Like, so there's definitely a lot of scammers on Facebook Marketplace. But I've sold plenty of items before on that platform. And so I never really had an issue until last night. And how we get to that scenario is I have this dude named Jeremy. I'm going to say his name because I don't even know if that's really his name based off of his Facebook page. So there was a couple red flags there that I missed, but we'll get into that. So Jeremy hits me up for the phone. He's like, hey, it's still available. I say yes, boom. He's like, okay, I want to buy it, but can you bring it to me? And I'm like, well, if you pay the price that I have listed, yeah, for sure. Because, you know, people be trying to negotiate. And so gas is expensive too. So I'm like, if you pay full price, yeah, I'll drop it off. So he was like, cool, yeah. And so I told him a time, boom. This was last night around, I want to say like 8:45 p.m. And I get to this apartment complex, right, where the address is, tell them color, make of my car, you know, where to find me and stuff. So I have my window down, waiting. And mind you, I'm a concealed carry license holder. So like I have my pistol with me. And, you know, I always do that for safety reasons. And it's dark at night. It's Las Vegas. I'm on the east side of Vegas too, which is real rough. And I have my girl with me. So yeah, you know, like gotta be safe and cautious. So I have that with me. I genuinely did not think I would have to ever like think about using it. But last night, so I have the window rolled down. Dude pulls up, boom. I show him the phone. It's unlocked and everything. I had already removed the iCloud like a dumbass, removed the passcode lock like a dumbass, and handed this dude the phone without getting out of the car. And so he's looking at the phone. He's talking to me. I see the cash in his hand. So I'm like, all right, boom, we're cool in my mind. And so as I'm about to get out of the car to like officially do the transaction, little dude just books it. Like he literally, with the phone in his hand, just runs away. Like he darts in the opposite direction. And whole time in my mind, I'm like, yo, does this shit really just happen to me? Like I'm a little stuck. I don't know what to do. And mind you, I'm a concealed carry license holder, right? So I could have used my weapon. I really could have. But this kid looked like a high school kid. Like, he looked like a little kid, honestly. And me personally, I'm like, I kind of fucked up too by having the window down and not being out of the car first, right? Not taking the money first before handing him the phone. So there was a lot of things that were wrong on my part too that I can recognize that I know for sure I'm not going to do again. But yeah, that shit was crazy. I'm like, I'm just standing there shook. And then my girl's mad, right? Rightfully mad because she's like, "What the fuck? That dude did not just steal your phone." And I'm like, "Yeah, he did." But what can we do about it, right? In my mind, cuz I'm not going to shoot a kid over no damn phone, right? Two, I'm not going to harm a kid. Period, unless he's like violently doing some shit to me, then I'm going to have to fight back, right? Protect myself. Three, low key, it was my fault. It really was. So I had to take that L. I had to take that loss. But at the time, last night, I was stupid mad. Like, I was stupid mad. Because, again, I realized it was my fault. And two, I realized this dude just fucked me out of $650, which is what I listed the phone for. And I could really use that money right now. I'm not going to lie. And I was expecting that to use that, to upgrade my laptop and a whole bunch of other shit, right? But so I was just very upset and I was hot last night. But then today I wake up and I have the perspective that I'm also giving y'all right now. Like, he was a kid. I don't know if he needed it more than I needed it. And again, he's a kid, right? So, like, I'm hoping not that karma does damage to him, but I hope that karma does hit him so that he knows not to do that shit again. You can't just be out here stealing from people, bro. Like, kid or not, you need to know right from wrong. And karma's a bitch. I'm gonna just say that karma's a bitch. So I'm gonna let God handle that and do whatever. I didn't even call the cops. I didn't do none of that shit because for me it was kind of pointless. Doing all that, spending all that energy for a phone. You feel me? Like, it is, and again, it was my fault too. So I'm taking it as a loss, and I really could have let that ruin my entire weekend. It definitely ruined my night last night. Not gonna lie, it did because I was still hot. But I also realized that the situation could be a lot worse. Like, nobody got hurt, nobody was harmed. He just stole the phone and booked it. So I'm grateful for that. And it's a learning lesson for me. Dead ass. Because I'm telling you, I'm going to never, ever, ever, ever do that shit again. Like, I'm going to be much well prepared next time. Believe that. Which I usually am, which is just crazy. I don't know what the fuck happened, but the reason I'm telling y'all this story is because you're going to get tested in life in different ways. And I definitely got tested last night. I definitely did. I feel like my resilience got tested, my mental health got tested, and my faith got tested. Because, and I say that because mentally, I could have let it really like make me depressed or just made me upset. Like, damn, like I paid for that phone and now I'm in debt or can't pay this with that. This was my opportunity to do this with that money. I could have let that get to me, but I didn't. And I feel like a lot that has to do with my resilience mentally has to do with 75 hard and being on this journey and having to do those daily tasks to perfection every single day without missing a beat, or else you have to start the program over. And so it really does teach you, like, no matter what, you got to get your shit done. It doesn't matter how you feel, doesn't matter what happened to you that day, doesn't matter what you're stressing about or you got anxiety about. Like, this is what the fuck you have to do every single day. Get that shit done and move forward. And whatever comes your way tomorrow, you'll deal with it the same way you did today. And I think that's the biggest takeaway I've gotten so far being in 75 hard. And that's really just helped my mental health tremendously. And I'm on day 28. I actually just completed all of my tasks today for day 28. Um, and it's been a ride, man. I really love being on this program. I've benefited from it already. So that's how I got tested mentally. And especially when it comes to my faith, I feel like I got tested there because, like I used to come from, a hardship. Just putting it out there. Like I come from hardship. I come from where, yeah, we live paycheck to paycheck. Like you have to bust your ass or else you're not gonna make it. You know, like my mom was a single mom with 3 kids, full-time student, full-time job, full-time mom, and she started her own business. So like badass, bro. Side note, my mom's a badass, but yeah, man, like it tested my faith because I'm one of my fears in life is scarcity, not having enough, because I grew up having that fear. You know what I mean? So my faith definitely got tested last night, and I'm walking away just knowing that God is good, God is great. Why? Because I'm alive and I'm breathing, and that could have been a way worse situation. And that's just how you guys got to look at life, man. Like, I know bad shit happens. I know there's shit that frustrates you and that may set you back for like a few minutes, a few hours, or however long you need to heal or really think through what just happened. But eventually, you got to come out on the other side positive, not negative. Come out with something, whether it's a lesson, whether it's, a different mindset, a different perspective. Like, try to turn it into something positive. You use the bricks that are thrown at you to build something. And I learned that from Ian Went. He's my coach and mentor in the Free Collective, which is a coaching group I became a part of. And thanks to him educating us on our bricks and how to use things and negative things that are thrown at you and use it in a positive way, I've been able to take the situation I was in last night and do just that, which is also why it's part of this show. So thank you, Ian, for that. I don't know if you listen to my show or will listen to my show. I'm sure you will. But I just want to thank you for that, for real, because it helped me tremendously, and it's part of why I'm in such a better mood today. So very appreciative of him and the entire Free Collective group members, Andy Frisella, the First Form family. Grateful to my mom for showing me resiliency, and just grateful for life, honestly. I'm happy to be here. And I hope that I can continue to add value to you guys, add more knowledge and wisdom to you guys, and help you out as much as possible. So if you like the show, definitely leave me a review. Hit me up on Instagram at _MTG podcast _. Let me know how I'm doing with the show. I welcome all kinds of feedback, and I really appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to listen. I won't take up too much more of your time. Have a great day. Be safe. Take care.